Welcome back to Peacock TV. Spoilers. Days of Our Lives spoilers for Thursday, August 6th are officially here. And let me tell you, the community is absolutely reeling from this latest cliffhanger. Let's be real for a second. DiMera is completely spiraling out of control, and Thursday's episode is going to prove just how far he has fallen. Holly Jonas is about to be hit with a massive, devastating truth bomb, and all signs point to her discovering that her former stepfather, DiMera, is the one who planted those pills in her bag. Can you believe it? DiMera, a man who claims to love his family, intentionally orchestrated a plot to make a vulnerable teenage girl look like a drug addict, just to serve his own twisted corporate agenda. Holly Jonas is going to feel so incredibly betrayed. This is a girl who has already lost so much, and now the man who was supposed to protect her is the one throwing her to the wolves. If you ask me, this is a huge mistake, because Holly Jonas has the fiery spirit of Nicole Walker running through her veins, and she is not going to take this betrayal lying down. Peacock TV spoilers, we've been tracking this for weeks, and this entire situation reminds me exactly of what Stefano DiMera did back in the day. Stefano DiMera always viewed the people of Salem as nothing more than pawns on a chessboard, and DiMera is doing the exact same thing right now. DiMera is using Holly Jonas. He is using Johnny DiMera, and he is even using the tragic situation with Lexi Carver to maintain his grip on power. The psychological damage DiMera is inflicting on Holly Jonas is unforgivable. Holly Jonas thought she could trust him. When that trust shatters on Thursday, August 6th, the fallout is going to be nuclear. I passionately hate what DiMera has become, and I am fully rooting for his absolute downfall. Meanwhile, over at Titan, Xander Kyriakis and Philip Kyriakis are trying to celebrate a massive victory, but that celebration comes to a sudden and screeching halt. Gabi Hernandez successfully sent the money to bail out Titan, utilizing the inheritance she secured, which originally came from Dimitri von Leuschner. Amazing. I absolutely love Gabi Hernandez. Gabi Hernandez is a survivor, a fierce protector of her family, and a brilliant strategist. She is feeling incredibly smug on Thursday, August 6th, and she is more than happy to frustrate DiMera. Gabi Hernandez might even rub it right in DiMera's face that Dimitri von Leuschner's money went towards saving Titan instead of lining the pockets of DiMera Enterprises. But here's the kicker. DiMera is not the kind of man who just accepts defeat. The moment DiMera finds out about this financial maneuver, he is going to make things infinitely harder for Xander Kyriakis, Philip Kyriakis, and especially Gabi Hernandez. We have sneak peek photos for the August 6th episode showing DiMera standing outside the Brady pub on his phone, looking absolutely perplexed and furious. The walls are closing in on DiMera. He is juggling the framed drug scandal with Holly Jonas, the terrifying medical crisis with Lexi Carver hiding in the secret DiMera tunnels, and the absolute disaster of Kristen DiMera escaping her shipping container. DiMera is a cornered animal right now, and cornered animals are the most dangerous. Speaking of absolute disasters, we have to talk about the most twisted storyline of the week. Rachel Black is going to get a secret visit from her mother, Kristen DiMera. But Kristen DiMera is not walking up to the house looking like herself. Oh no. Kristen DiMera is dressed up as her doppelganger, Susan Banks. That's crazy. Rachel Black is just at the house playing when fake Susan Banks shows up and tells Rachel Black that she has a special message for her. This is classic, unhinged Kristen DiMera behavior. If we look back at the legacy storylines from the late 1990s, Kristen DiMera famously locked the real Susan Banks in a secret room and stole her entire life, her face, and her baby. Using the identity of Susan Banks right now is a massive psychological middle finger to E.J. DiMera, considering Susan Banks is his biological mother. And this leads me to my hot take for the day. I firmly believe that Kristen DiMera is the most toxic mother in the history of daytime television, and Brady Black is completely failing to protect Rachel Black from her. There, I said it. Let the debate begin in the comments. Kristen DiMera is actively poisoning the mind of Rachel Black. Rachel Black is already struggling with severe behavioral issues and the trauma of losing her friend Sophia Choi. Now, Kristen DiMera is manipulating Rachel Black while wearing the face of Susan Banks. Kristen DiMera is going to use Rachel Black as a weapon against E.J. DiMera, passing along a message that will undoubtedly cause chaos within the DiMera family. Brady Black needs to wake up and realize that Kristen DiMera is a lethal threat to the mental stability of Rachel Black. While Kristen DiMera is sneaking around in a wig and fake teeth, Brady Black and Steve Johnson are sitting at the Brady pub, completely clueless. The August 6th sneak peek photos show Steve Johnson and Brady Black deep in discussion. Brady Black is leaning forward toward Steve Johnson, holding his coffee mug, looking incredibly concerned and unhappy. Steve Johnson is listening intently, and Peacock TV spoilers can confirm that the Black Patch partners have hit another frustrating dead end. They are desperately trying to find Kristen DiMera after Brady Black received a highly suspicious text message claiming she had gone away to visit her mother in Aramid. Brady Black knows Kristen DiMera is lying, but he has no idea she is literally in his own backyard dressed as Susan Banks. Steve Johnson and Brady Black are also likely trying to gather enough evidence to finally nail E.J. DiMera for his countless crimes, including the tainted drugs from DiMera Pharmaceuticals. But Steve Johnson hitting a dead end proves just how well E.J. DiMera and Kristen DiMera cover their tracks. I personally believe that Steve Johnson and Brady Black need to stop looking at the surface level clues and start digging into the secret DiMera tunnels. If they search those tunnels, not only might they find clues about Kristen DiMera's escape from the shipping container, but they might also stumble upon the tragic hidden room where E.J. DiMera is keeping Lexi Carver. Imagine the absolute shock if Steve Johnson discovers Lexi Carver fading away in the dark. Finally, we have to shift gears to a storyline that is absolutely breaking my heart. On Thursday, August 6th, the custody battle between Alex Kyriakis and Joy Wesley comes to a terrifying halt. Joy Wesley is at the Brady pub, simply trying to pull the baby carrier off the stroller when something debilitating happens to her right arm. The pain is instantaneous and agonizing. Javi Hernandez and Rafe Hernandez are thankfully right there to rush in and help her. Poor little Kelsey Kyriakis is terrified and crying, and Rafe Hernandez immediately steps in to comfort the baby while Javi Hernandez checks on Joy Wesley. This is a massive, life-threatening medical emergency, and the community is already buzzing with theories about what is really wrong with Joy Wesley. Peacock TV spoilers, we've been tracking the history of the Wesley family, and we need to talk about the predictive lore here. I strongly suspect that Joy Wesley is going to be diagnosed with leukemia. If you remember the legacy storylines from years ago, Joy Wesley was specifically conceived by Craig Wesley and Nancy Wesley as a savior sibling. Joy Wesley was born to donate bone marrow to her older sister, Chloe Lane, who was battling leukemia at the time. It is a cruel, tragic twist of fate that the very disease that almost killed her sister is now potentially coming for Joy Wesley. One of the major symptoms of leukemia is severe arm and bone pain caused by cancerous white blood cells putting immense pressure on the bone marrow. When Alex Kyriakis arrives at the hospital, his entire world is going to shatter. But you won't believe what happens next with Stephanie Johnson. While Alex Kyriakis is at the hospital holding a terrified Joy Wesley, Stephanie Johnson is going to show her true toxic colors. Stephanie Johnson is going to complain to her mother, Kayla Brady, completely doubting the reality of the medical crisis. Stephanie Johnson will likely accuse Joy Wesley of faking this debilitating arm pain just to manipulate Alex Kyriakis and steal him away. Can you believe the absolute audacity of Stephanie Johnson? I passionately defend Alex Kyriakis in this situation, and I ruthlessly criticize Stephanie Johnson for her blinding jealousy. This callous reaction from Stephanie Johnson is going to be the final nail in the coffin for her marriage to Alex Kyriakis. Thursday, August 6th is going to be an emotional roller coaster that you simply cannot miss. From E.J. DiMera's cruel betrayals and Kristen DiMera's twisted Susan Banks disguise to the heartbreaking medical terror striking Joy Wesley, Days of Our Lives is delivering pure gold right now. The stakes have literally never been higher for these characters, and the fallout from these events will shape Salem for years to come. So, I have to ask you, do you think Brady Black will figure out that Susan Banks is actually Kristen DiMera in disguise before she does permanent psychological damage to Rachel Black? Drop your wildest theories and hot takes in the comments below. And if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications for Peacock TV spoilers so you never miss a single update. See you next time.